सभी लोग अपना अपना आसन ग्रहण कर लें। तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। तूने हमें उत्पन्न किया, पालन कर रहा है तू, तुझसे ही पाते प्राण हम, दुखियों के दुख करता है तू। तेरा महान तेज है छाया हुआ सभी स्थान, सृष्टि की वस्तु वस्तु में तू हो रहा है विद्यमान। तेरा ही धरते ध्यान हम मांगते हैं तेरी दया, ईश्वर हमारी बुद्धि को श्रेष्ठ मार्ग पर चला। O God, the giver of life, remover of pains and sorrows, bestower of happiness, and creator of the universe, you are most luminous and adorable. We meditate on you, may inspire, guide our intellect in the right direction. तो ग्रहित परिवार के सदस्य उपस्थित देवी और सज्जनों, आप सबको मालूम है हम लोग आज यहाँ पर क्यों आए। हमारे सामने जो शो रखा है हम उसकी अंतिम संस्कार करने के लिए आए। जब हम कहते हैं कि अंतिम संस्कार करते हैं तो अंतिम संस्कार शरीर का होता है, आत्मा का नहीं। शरीर जैसे 5 तत्वों का बना होता है, जब हम उसको अंतिम संस्कार कर देते हैं तो 5 तत्वों में विलीन हो जाता है। आत्मा जो है शाश्वत है, पुरातन है, ना तो कभी आत्मा की जन्म होती है और ना तो कभी आत्मा की मृत्यु होती है। तो हम लोग आज यहाँ परमपिता परमात्मा से ही प्रार्थना कर सकते हैं कि ये भगवान जीवन आत्मा आपके समझ में, आपके साथ है, आप उसकी रक्षा करें। और हम मनुष्य, हमारे पास कोई ऐसी शक्ति नहीं है, तो कुछ ईश्वर के हाथों में है। तो प्रथम मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में बोलूंगा, फिर उसके बाद में इंग्लिश में थोड़ा। मृत्यु एक ऐसा शब्द है जिसको सुनते ही मनुष्य चौंक उठता और अति भयभीत हो जाता है। जीवन नष्ट हो जाने का, अपने सगे संबंधियों से छूटने का और संसार से चले जाने के भय से व्यक्ति व्याकुल हो उठता है। मृत्यु का मार्ग वास्तव में यह है कि जीवात्मा अकेला और जीवन भर कमाने के बाद खाली हाथ चला जाता है। मृत्यु एक सच्चाई है जो हर एक प्राणी को निकल जाती है। इसके सामने राजा से लेकर रंग, कुर्मी से लेकर हाथी तक सब बराबर हैं, सब विवश हैं, सब इससे बचना चाहते हैं, लेकिन असंभव है, कोई नहीं बच पाता है। असंख्य लोग मर चुके हैं और मर रहे हैं और कोई बचने वाला भी नहीं है। फिर भी जो बचे हुए लोग हैं ऐसा व्यवहार करते हैं जैसे वे कभी संसार को छोड़कर जाएंगे नहीं। अपने अभिमान में आकर दूसरों को सताते हैं, मोह ममता में भटकते हैं, पाप और अपराध करते हैं। कई वर्षों के लिए योजना बनाते हैं जैसे कभी मरना ही नहीं। मृत्यु क्या है? मृत्यु है शरीर से जीवात्मा का अलग होना और शरीर चेतनाहीन हो जाता है। जीवात्मा किसी और शरीर में जन्म लेता है, वो कभी मरता नहीं है। गीता में भी बतलाए है, वसांसी चरणानी यथा विहाय नवानी गृह्णाति नरो प्राणी तथा शरीरानी विहाय जीर्णानि यानी संयति नवानी नहीं। जिस प्रकार मनुष्य पुराने वस्त्रों को त्याग कर नया धारण कर लेता है, उसी प्रकार जीवात्मा भी पुराने शरीर को त्याग कर नया शरीर धारण कर लेता है। जीवन आत्मा के इस परिवर्तन को संसार में हम मृत्यु कहते हैं। यहाँ पे यजुर्वेद के 40वें अध्याय के 15वें मंत्र का सार आता है बड़े सुंदर ढंग से। ओम वायु अन्नम मृतम छेदम भस्मांतम शरीरम ओम कीर्तो समर किल्वे समर कीर्तम समर। हे कर्मशील जीवात्मा, तू परमात्मा के नाम ओम का स्मरण कर, आपने किए हुए कार्यों को तू स्मरण कर। शरीर सदा नहीं रहेगा, अंत में भस्म रूप हो जाएगा, अर्थात पंचभूतों में ही विलीन हो जाएगा। इसलिए आपने किए हुए कर्मों को स्मरण करना चाहिए, जिससे विगत समय में यदि जाने अनजाने में अशुभ कर्म हो गया हो तो पुनः ना करें तथा शुभ कर्म करने की प्रेरणा करें। क्योंकि जब हम शुभ कर्म करते हैं तो उसका फल अच्छा होता है, अगर हम बुरा कर्म करते हैं तो उसका फल कभी अच्छा नहीं होता है। और जब हम कहते हैं कि परमात्मा जो है न्यायकारी है, दयालु है, अजन्मा अमर नित्य पवित्र सृष्टि करता है। परमात्मा ना तो किसी के अच्छे कर्म को देता है ना किसी के बुरे कर्म को। हम जैसे कर्म करते हैं परमात्मा हमें वैसा ही फल देता है। हम कहते हैं कि परमात्मा ने हमें ये दुख दिया, परमात्मा ने नहीं दिया। सब कुछ हमारे कर्मों का फल है, हम जैसा कर्म करेंगे परमात्मा हमें वैसा ही फल देता है। तो किसी गीतकार ने बड़े सुंदर ढंग से हमें बतलाया है, अगाह अपनी मौत से कोई बसर नहीं, समान 100 बरस का पल की कोई खबर नहीं। इबरत की जा है दुनिया, इशरत का घर नहीं, मालिक की मर्जियों को किसी को खबर नहीं है। इस संसार में जिसने जन्म लिया है उसे नश्वर शरीर छोड़कर एक ना एक दिन जाना ही पड़ेगा। किसने कब जाना है, कैसे जाना और किस स्थान से जाना है, या किसी को भी पता नहीं है। अतः ये जीव मृत्यु से अमृत की ओर बढ़ने का प्रयास करता है। एक बार यह शरीर युधिष्ठिर से अनेकों प्रश्न किए, किंतु एक प्रश्न पर यदि हम ध्यान दें तो हमारा जीवन बदल सकता है। प्रश्न है कि संसार की अद्भुत बात क्या है? तो युधिष्ठिर ने दृढ़ता पूर्वक उत्तर दिया कि संसार की अद्भुत बात है मृत्यु। हम सभी मरने वाले के शव को जलाने के लिए शमशान भूमि में लेकर जाते हैं, किंतु हम अपनी मौत के बारे में भूल जाते हैं। तो कहते हैं कि 2 बातन को भूल मत जो चाहे कल्याण, नारायण एक मौत को, दूजे श्री भगवान। भगवान को हमें कभी नहीं भूलना चाहिए, ईश्वर को हमें हर वक्त स्मरण करना चाहिए। परमपिता परमात्मा ने हमें इस संसार में मृत्यु मनुष्य जीवन प्रदान करके प्राणी मत का कल्याण करने के लिए भेजा, किंतु हम संसार के मोह माया के जाल में फंस गए और हम परमपिता परमात्मा को तथा अपने कर्तव्य को हम भूल गए। जो मोहग्रस्त मनुष्यों, स्वार्थियों और अज्ञानी पुरुषों के लिए मृत्यु दुखदायी होती है, किंतु जो परोपकारी हैं, ज्ञानी विद्वान संत महात्माओं के लिए और योगियों के लिए परम सुख देने वाली होती है। कहते हैं किसी की 4 दिन की जिंदगी 100 काम आती है, किसी की 100 साल की जिंदगी बेकार चली जाती है। हे इंसान, हमेशा याद रख, इंसान का जिस्म क्या है जिससे सौदा है जहाँ, एक मिट्टी की इमारत, एक मिट्टी की मकान, खून इसमें गारा है और ईट इसकी हड्डियां, चंद श्वासों पर खड़ा है खाली आसमान, मौत की पुरजोर आंधी जब इससे टकराएगी, देख लेना यह इमारत एक दिन टूट कर गिर जाएगी। आओ हम सब मिलकर अपना वर्तमान और भविष्य सुधारें। जिसने प्रभु नाम की डोर पकड़ ली वही भवसागर पार से उतर जाएगा, वरना मृत्यु सबको दुख देती ही रहेगी। नानक दुखिया सब संसार, सुखी वही जय नाम आधार। आओ हम सब मिलकर प्रभु का आधार लेकर जिए, उसी के होकर जिए, और इस संसार को जब छोड़े तो परमात्मा के ही होकर जी छोड़े। कहते हैं तेरे फूलों से भी प्यार, तेरे कांटों से भी प्यार, मुझे रखना चाहे जैसे रखना दाता। हम दुख में हो, सुख में हो, जंगल में हो, मंगल में हो, कंगाली में हो, खुशहाली में हो, पर हम प्रभु नाम से विमुख यानी वंचित कभी ना हो। सदा हंसते हुए गाते हुए इस सृष्टि के आनंद का उपभोग करें। यह दुनिया जो है साहसी व्यक्तियों के लिए है। जो लोग अपने दुखों के गीत या मातम मनाते हैं, ये दुनिया उनके लिए नहीं है। बहुत से लोग बस अपने दुखों के गीत गाते हैं, होली हो या दिवाली सदा मातम मनाते हैं, मगर दुनिया उन्हीं की रागनी पर झूमती है हरदम, जो जलती चिता पर बैठकर बीना बजाते हैं। जो समय बीत गया है उस समय को वापस नहीं ला सकते हैं, बीता हुआ समय मर चुका है। हमें अमृता प्राप्त करनी है, जितना जीवन शेष रह गया उसी को हम संभालें। परमपिता परमात्मा के पवित्र गोद में हम बैठने के अधिकारी बने, अपने जीवन को उज्जवल बनाएं। किसी गीतकार ने हमें जीवन जीने की प्रेरणा दी है, जो बीती सो बीती, लेकिन बाकी उम्र संभालू मैं, बैठ प्रभु के चरण कमल में गीत प्रेम के गालू मैं, जीवन अपने आप का सफल बनाऊं मैं, तेरे दर को छोड़कर किस दर को जाऊं मैं, सुनता मेरी कौन है किससे सुनाऊं। परमपिता परमात्मा के भजन और प्राणी मात्र के कल्याण से ही हमारा जीवन शुद्ध, पवित्र और उज्जवल बन सकेगा। आपने बुरे कर्मों से डरो, जियो तो शुभ कर्मों के लिए और मरो तो शुभ कर्मों के लिए। जिंदगी ऐसी बना जिंदा रहे दिल साथ तू, जाए जब इस दुनिया से दुनिया को आए याद तू। मिट्टी के पुतले हैं हम, मिट्टी में मिल जाएंगे, जो कर्म योगी रहेंगे निज कर्मों से याद आएंगे। मालिक तेरी रजा रहे और तू ही तू रहे, बाकी ना मैं रहूं ना मेरी आरज़ू रहे, जब तक कि तन में जान रंगों में लहू रहे, तेरा ही चित्र या तेरा ही इष्ट जू रहे। परमेश्वर ने हमें मनुष्य शरीर इसलिए प्रदान किया है कि हम ज्ञान प्राप्त करें, यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान और समाधि से अवगत हों। यदि हम इस जन्म में काम क्रोध लोभ मोह अहंकार अविद्या अज्ञान में फंसे रहेंगे तो हम मृत्यु रूपी दुख से कभी छूट नहीं पाएंगे। ओम अस्तोमा सद्गम्ये तमसोमा ज्योतिर्गम्ये मृत्युर्मा अमृतम गम्ये। परमेश्वर हमें शक्ति प्रदान करे ताकि हम असत से सत्य की ओर और अंधकार से प्रकाश की ओर तथा मृत्यु से अमृत की ओर बढ़कर अपना जीवन सुख पवित्र और उज्जवल बना सके। परमपिता परमात्मा से हम यही प्रार्थना करते हैं कि हे भगवान जीवन आत्मा को सदगति प्राप्त हो और भगवान जनों को शक्ति देना। ये दुख जो है हर एक इंसान के ऊपर एक ना एक रोज आएगी, हम नहीं जानते कब आएगी कहाँ आएगी, तो हमें सब इस पर ध्यान देना चाहिए। When our time on this earth is done, money or material things will not matter, but our love, time and kindness that we have given to others will shine and live forever. Death takes the body, God takes the soul, our mind holds the memories, our heart keeps the love, our faith lets us know we will meet again. Rivers never go reverse, so try to live like a river. Forget your past and focus on your future. Always be positive. Positive. एक फूल कभी दो बार नहीं खिलते हैं, ये जन्म बार बार नहीं मिलता है। जिंदगी तो मिल जाते हैं हजारों, जिंदगी में तो मिल जाते हैं हजारों लोग, मगर दिल से चाहने वाले बहुत कम मिलते हैं। Dear family members of the departed soul, ladies and gentlemen, we are all assembled here today to pay our last respect to the departed soul. Death is an inevitable fact of life. Each society, culture, and religion has its own way of dealing with this reality. The rituals performed at the time of a funeral bring a certain feeling of peace to the mourners. After performing the ritual, they know that they have done everything in their power to provide peace to the soul of the departed. Cremations can also be looked at a way of recycling the physical body. We Hindus believe that the human body is made of 5 inert elements, also called the Panch Mahabhutas, example, air, fire, water, air, and space. Cremation breaks down the body into 5 basic elements and returns elements to nature. Our belief is in a short period of mourning. Our belief is that the soul never dies, only the body perishes. The body is simply the carrier of the soul, therefore it is illogical to grieve over something that is everlasting. While it is impractical request to ask a family member of a recently deceased person not to grieve, it is a way of thinking that soothes the minds of the mourners. Cremation follows logically from the basic doctrine of Hinduism, which says the body is like a garment to be discarded when worn out after death. The body has no further significance and should be disposed of. It is a quote from the Bhagavad Gita that explains the idea of reincarnation. Just as man casts out worn-out clothes and puts on new ones, so also the embodied self casts out worn-out bodies and enters others that are new. While bodies are said to die, the Atma soul is eternal, it cannot be destroyed. Reincarnation or transmigration is the process by which the Atma soul passes through a sequence of bodies. Our tradition recognizes the cycle of rebirth in which the individual soul is repeatedly reincarnated. We also believe that actions performed in this life will affect the individual's fate in his or her next life. Karma means deeds. Our belief is that all karmas, good or bad, have effects. Person's deed determine his or her future in this life and the next to come. Therefore, good actions in this life will not only be rewarded in this life, but also in the lives to come. Life is short and death is inevitable. Our belief is that if one truly understands the concept that the body is simply the carrier of the soul and the soul cannot be destroyed, one will not feel the need to grieve over the loss of a body. One should also never forget that the actions in this life determine the future, so do only the good deeds. There is a popular saying, as you sow, so shall you reap. Isa vyas vidam sarvam nitin jagatyam jagatyen takten punjita amar vidas vidina. This body is the residence of supreme consciousness. Although it appears to be ours, in reality it is not ours. It is a very temporary residence for the soul. Similarly, the whole universe appears to be real, yet it too will be gone in a few million years. The phenomenal world is always changing, and everything in it appears to be in motion. We are moved by gross phenomena unless we are full inside. If we remember that all gross manifestations are temporary, then we won't be moved by them. In other words, we have to learn that anything we see with our eyes is temporary, and that only supreme consciousness is permanent. We should see everything as a moving drama and not to be upset by it. We have to go beyond phenomena, beyond the body to understand creation from the point of view of consciousness. We should learn to enjoy the supreme state of consciousness, to have good health, good principles, and to live in consciousness is our real wealth. How can this worldly wealth be ours when this body does not remain ours? If we understand the phenomenal world from this point of view, then we can renounce all feeling of jealousy and greed. We will not convert anyone's property or seek anyone's inheritance. We say that this is my son, my daughter, my property. In fact, These relationships are just fleeting instances of this incarnation. To consider them permanent causes bondage, and bondage causes pain. It doesn't mean that we should be careless or negligent in our duty. Rather, we should understand that all relations and all possessions are part of this incarnation only. After this life is over, there is again Supreme Consciousness. To understand life from the point of view of eternity, we need to free ourselves from all self-centered activity of the mind and from all selfish motives. We have to leave behind our lethargic states of wanting what others have. We have to work on ourselves. To understand consciousness, we need to do our duty. Free from attachment in these 100 years of life, we should perfect our nature by doing actions rather than getting attached to the results of the actions. Atma consciousness is one without a second, permanent, changeless. Its activity is present in all living and non-living things. Consciousness is motionless, yet it transcends everything that is moving because it is omniscient, omnipresent. Reality is consciousness. Prana sustains the whole universe, and it is also present in each one of us. Prana is in all form of glass existence, in matter, and in all that is manifested in ether. It is prana, the vital force which is making us perceive. We hear because of prana. Our eyes shine because of prana. Prana is everywhere. All we have to do is remember it. When we are very attached to our name and form, we cannot experience the vital force. That's when our problem begins. But when we train our mind and senses to be in subject state, we transcend those difficulties. They still may arise, but we are able to deal with them without losing peace of mind. When we establish ourselves in supreme consciousness, we will have a disciplined and happy life. Discipline means that we will not go crazy with negative feelings and emotions. They will exist as the waves upon the surface of the ocean, but we will remain in the ocean's depth. We pray to the Almighty God for the peace of the departed soul, our deepest sympathy to the old family members. My God give them strength to bear the great loss. Om Shanti. Shanti. I'll ask Rina to come and take you.
All of you to come and see him, to help us say goodbye to him. And everything is about love and family. With your friends, you were considered family. His heart was always open, and the most important thing to him was that people felt like they were welcome and they felt how much he cared for them. And that's all he ever told all of us to do, was to make sure that you're always there for people, make sure that they feel like they're welcome and that you care for them and that they can rely on you. And those are the things that he's always instilled in us and always practiced. I think seeing everybody here, he'd probably be very overwhelmed and very humbled and very honored at the fact that all of you have come here to pay your last respects. I don't know if everybody knows that he came from a family of 9 children. So my grandma had 9 of them, 6 sisters, 6 girls, and 3 boys. And even though he was the second youngest, he was the one who stayed in contact with everybody. So it didn't matter that they lived on the other side of the world or they lived 20 minutes away. He was the one that always made sure to keep in contact with them. He made sure that he checked in and he made sure that they knew that he was there for them. So even his nieces, nephews, his grandchildren, they were all treated like they were his family. They were his kids. I think for him, his biggest thing that he's always instilled in us is family. Have a sense of family, make sure that you're always close to them and that you're there for them. I just want to say, my aunt, when his sister in Australia, she wanted to say a few words to, for him. She wanted to say, my brother Satya Deo was the heart and soul of the Patel family. He always kept in regular contact despite the distance. He would inquire about my health and how Nan, Lionel, Ricky, and Rand are. In Fiji, he used to visit my house regularly, and I would give him lamb stew and meat curries. How he loved that. He used to play so lovingly with Ricky and Rand. He used to dress so stylishly, he reminded me of Elvis. My friends would always say how handsome he is. I will always remember the fantastic time that he and Prabha gave me when I visited Canada. I couldn't ask for a better brother. I was crying so much when I heard of his death. I can still see his smiling face. May God bless his soul. I will miss you so very much, dear brother. Love your sister Savita. I think that just encompasses how a lot of people felt about him. I think we know that everyone's kids also felt that way. My cousin, my Auntie Savita's son, also wanted to say some words to him. To my dear uncle, said that as a young child growing up in Fiji, we were so much fun to be around. When my mom and dad, who was a mayor, used to go to parties, you would look after us. How Ricky and I loved those moments. Even though it was 30 years since I saw you again in Canada, your love, warmth, and generosity never changed. You were such an incredible human being. Your love and beautiful soul will eternally be in our hearts. Love your nephew, Rand. When we were preparing for his funeral, at the end, we're going to do a slideshow, and one of my cousins was helping us pick some songs, and most of you know he loved to sing, and that's one of the big memories that we all have, going to everyone's house, people coming over, everybody getting together and singing their hearts out, and that's what he loved to do. And one of the songs that she picked, or helped us pick, was one that was one of his favorites, and her memory was that he would tell her that that song was written by him, sung to her from him, so that she knew how much he cared for her. And so she used to argue for years with her parents that this is Uncle singing, this is Uncle's song. It would come up on the radio, she would see it on TV, it didn't matter, but she always would say, no, that's him, and that's his song for me, and this is our thing. And so then she learned later that obviously it wasn't him, but she always thought of him as a second father. And even her, now that she's a mother, her children got to share that bond and that relationship with him. And I think it's just an example of the love and the care that he had for everybody. It didn't matter who you were, where you were in your family. He was that father figure for so many of us. And as his kids, we value that, and we're so proud of him for that. And that's his legacy, and we hope that that's what everybody remembers, and we want everyone to share those stories. He was not somebody who wanted people to sit and cry for him. So that was the one thing he was adamant about when we were talking about, and he many times talked about when he was going to pass and what he wanted. And his thing was, you do everything as quickly as possible. I don't want all these people sitting around just crying about me. If you're going to do something, then talk about, what you meant to him. I'll share the memories, share the stories. That's what he wanted. He wanted people to remember him and not be crying over him. He firmly believed that he's moved on, and that his soul is still here, and he's still here with everybody. So he wants everyone to celebrate him and celebrate his life and celebrate each other, be there for each other. And so we appreciate that all of you have taken the time to come here, and we hope that that's what you'll do. Share stories with each other, share stories with us. That's what means the most to us as well. At the end, during the slideshow, we would love for people, those of you who used to sing along with him, sing along, because in our hearts, he's here with us right now, and he's going to be belting them out when the songs are playing. My brother Kris wanted to say a few words.
So, hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the youngest of Satya's 4 children. I just wanted to briefly say a few words about my dad. First and foremost, I think he was in life a decent, moral, principled man. He had a good, open heart, a big heart, was kind. He didn't hold grudges in life. And he always put the needs of his family over his own needs. And I think that was like something that I really appreciate. He showed me what a father should be like. Protect your children, provide guidance, support them to the best of your abilities. Every moment with them should not be taken for granted or cherished. A lesson Dad taught me in life was that family comes first, as Rina had mentioned. For example, he'd hate when his kids would fight, and he'd always tell us, you can't clap with one hand. And he'd always warn us that, you only have each other in this world. Instead, he'd encourage us to resolve our differences no matter what. My dad's passing reminds me and us to be more family oriented, to create opportunities, to gather together, to have events together, to see each other face to face. In today's busy world, I think that's lost. And he always wanted us just to be connected rather than alone. Some of my fondest memories of my dad and my family are growing up on a small hobby farm in Maple Ridge, having relatives come over for holidays, weekends, raising ducks and chickens there, spending time with our dog. I believe that living on the farm helped myself and siblings build empathy towards other living things, understand the life cycle of life and death, and helped us develop appreciation of the natural world. And I think that these childhood experiences led us into the paths that we chose in life and our careers. Brian's in a helping profession with youth, Rina with healthcare, myself with youth and planning, and Ryan has always had a huge heart his whole life and helps others whenever he can, and will give out any person the shirt off his back. Also importantly, I think I appreciate that he was available and present for his family from the time I was a small kid until his death. Even last week, like my brother Brian and I went shopping with him, and just in little actions, he showed his love, like simple things like just taking groceries from your hand to take to the car when he himself was complaining about back pains and things. Just he showed his love in so many ways and showered us with his love, and I always appreciate that. As a child, even though my dad and mom were busy working during the work week, completing household chores on the weekends, and the fact that money was tight, he still managed to take his children on camping, fishing, crabbing trips that we will remember for the rest of our lives. Dad was always willing to help me when I had a problem or needed guidance in life as well, even in the most difficult of circumstances. He was my rock. After his passing, I learned from other relatives and friends that he was actually supporting them in similar ways, which is testament to the positive influence he had on life. In life, he was the glue that bound many people together, not just his immediate family. Another life lesson he taught me was that spending too much time in the pursuit of money is wasted if that time could have been spent better creating experiences with your family. These experiences are what provide meaning to our lives and are what will endure when we look back on life. Even though it'll take me some time to realize and accept the fact that he is gone, I will use the lessons Dad has taught me and the ones I have yet to uncover for the remainder of my life. What I will especially cherish are the moments Dad spent with his siblings and me, and particularly the moments he spent with his grandchildren, my brother Ryan's daughter, Kaitlyn, and my daughter, Sophia. Kaitlyn's 13, my daughter's 4 years old. For example, when the time Dad spent with Kaitlyn when she was younger at Gates Park, taking her for walks at Gates Park in Port Coquitlam Lions Park, he recently mentioned how he missed those days with her, in those walks that they had together. He was so patient with Kaitlyn. He was so patient with her when she didn't want to leave the park on the swing sets. And his patience was actually shown with my daughter, who bossed him around when I would drop her off at his home after her preschool. She would always boss him around, and he was always at her beck and call when she wanted to play with her toys and act silly with him, together with her grandpa. It feels like I lost a big piece of myself this week. Dad, I always loved you very much. You had a well-lived life, and it was admirable, and you were honorable man. You have done everything you need to do in this life, and you will always be remembered for that. Brian, eldest brother, will say a few words.
It's with mixed emotions I stand here today. This past week has been very telling. It's made me relearn things, discover things, reevaluate friendships, relationships. My dad was a good man. Dear friends and family, most of you know my name is Brian, and I'm Satya's oldest son. We have gathered here today to honor and celebrate his life of a man who is truly one of a kind. A person of high morals who by any standards inspired many of us in this room today. He's personally responsible for many people coming to Canada because he decided to take a chance and immigrate in November 1968. My father, Satya Patel, Satya Deo Patel, was born on July 28, 1942 in Tavaru, Fiji, the son of Shiva Bhai Patel and Smita Bhai Patel, and the wife of my mom, or the wife, Prabha Patel, my mother. From the day he was born until the day of his passing, he touched the lives of so many people with his kind and generous spirit.
As a husband, a father, a grandfather, he was a constant source of love and support for our family. He was always there for us no matter what we needed, and his unwavering commitment to our well-being will never be forgotten. He loved all his children, Brian, Rina, Kris, and Ryan. He loved us all equally. But he did have a very special place for Kaitlyn and Sophia's grandchildren because they were Dad's pride and joy. It's because of them he found the sparkle in his eyes and the sprinkle in his heart. His character has always spoken volumes. You could always trust and rely on him for everything. A very intelligent person, a real man of his word, that lived his life as a person of true integrity and with principle. I want to share a quote from an original letter I found while I was going through his items from his head teacher from 1969. Quote, Satya Patel bears an excellent character and possesses a very good nature of mixing well with other people. He was a student of very high intelligence. My father was a well-respected member of our community and a devoted family man. He was known for his strong work ethic and his love for gardening. He's also known for his ability to think creatively and outside the box, traits which he has passed on to me. He's also treated everyone with the utmost respect, and what Kris mentioned was the glue of our family. Everybody simply loved him. He was a good, genuine human being. Anyone that knows my dad will know he was always stylish. Rina mentioned that. Non-judgmental, very modest, but he was blunt when he needed to be. Yet, he's a relatively quiet man that spoke through his actions, not words. I recall a time when he lost something very valuable and he said, "It's okay. He probably needed it more than I did." In everything he did, my father displayed a selfless and compassionate nature that inspired all of us. He was a role model, and he'll be deeply missed by everyone who knew him. When I was speaking to Mom the other day, she said, Dad always treated her family equally to his own and loved everyone the same. And because of that, and for countless other reasons, Dad has always been looked up to and admired by everyone who ever had the pleasure of getting to know him. At my dad's 80th celebration, I shared some words of wisdom that my father once shared to me. I felt it was important to once again share this message to all of you here today as a friendly reminder. I recall one day my father pulled me aside and told me, if you want to be successful in life, you have to surround yourself with like-minded, successful people. Because if you don't, you become the people you associate yourself with. Now, success for my father was not about money or material things. And a lot of people think that's what success is. It was always about the people. People will always forget what you said, but they'll never, ever forget how you made them feel. He went on to say, don't let people choose you. You choose the people who you want to let into your life. That has always resonated with me. And for that very reason, I have a very tight and close group of friends. He went on to say, as I get older, I understand Dad a lot better because he's already gone through what I've gone through now. But because of Dad and his children are now prepared to take on life's challenges. For those of you who don't know, my father found peace and solace in the Bible right after his heart surgery almost 2 years ago. Although my dad was Hindu, he told me it doesn't matter who or what you believe in, we all have the same creator. Before he passed away, my dad used to tell me that I need to believe in a higher power. And most of you that I've talked to, we always said that. You know, as I was going through his stuff, as I was sorting out through his personal belongings on his bedside table, I couldn't help but feel mixed emotions, very mixed emotions. And I remember I looked up and I asked him, who will be my teacher? Who will be my confidant now that you're gone? You've always been the rock of our family. Suddenly, as quickly as I said that, my gaze drawn on the a stack of 2 Bibles tucked away on this table, very, very neatly. I flipped to the page where my dad had bookmarked and it felt like he was speaking to me through these words. As I opened to page 281, I started reading, and I want to share the relevant piece to you now. John 14, verse 25 to 30. I have told you this while I'm still with you. The Helper, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you everything and make you remember all that I have taught you. Peace is what I leave with you. It is my own peace that I give to you. I do not give it as the world does. Do not be worried and upset. Do not be afraid. You heard me say to you, I'm leaving, but I'll come back to you. If you love me, you would be glad that I'm going to the Father, for he is greater than I. I told you this now before it all happens, so that when it does happen, you will believe. I cannot talk to you much longer because the ruler of the world is coming. My dad always told us that we came into this world with nothing and will leave with nothing. So we shouldn't get too attached to material possessions. Instead, we should enjoy life's moments and surround ourselves with the people we love, because we never know what the future holds. So today, as we say goodbye to my father, let us not focus on the loss, but on the incredible legacy he has left behind. Let us remember all the love, joy, and memories he has given all of us here today. Now, we'll be playing a slideshow of my dad's life. The slideshow will include photos and videos, some of the most memorable moments in my dad's life, as well as some of his favorite songs. Rina mentioned that. I know my dad loved to sing. So as we watch the slideshow, I'd ask that you join and sing along. I know he'd love it. Rina mentioned that. This is how he wanted to be remembered in celebrating his life. My dad's heart is a true treasure of love, memory of a loving husband, an amazing dad, a patient grandfather, a dear friend. Rest in peace, Dad. You'll always be in our hearts and mind. While the music's playing, feel free to pay your last respects to my father as well. And also at 6 o'clock, we're having at my parents' house after you guys are allowed to join.
चले जा जहाँ प्यार मिले जहाँ प्यार मिले चले जा जहाँ प्यार मिले जहाँ प्यार मिले चले जा जहाँ प्यार
ओम
मिले,
विश्वानि
जहाँ
देव
प्यार
सवितर
मिले।
निरितानि परात्मा ओम हिरण्य गर्भासमवतु युगस्य जाता कटुबिकराते प्रदाधार विग्रहं तस्मै देवाय विशाल ओम यः आत्मना भगवता युद्धविद्युपासते प्रशिषं यत देवा प्रतिज्ञाया यतमिति तस्मै देवाय विशाल ओम यः प्राणतो निमित्तो जगतो भूत्वा यईते असति प्रदस्य दुष्टता तस्मै देवाय विशाल ओम येन स्वातवितं अंतरिक्षे रजतो तस्मै देवाय विद्यामि ओम प्रजापते नत्वधीतान् वाजातानि पंचाभूता कामार्थे कामकतयो ओम समो गंधजनिता सविनाता रामानिधि भुवनानि यत्र देवा परिष्कारकानाति कामकतयो ओम अग्ने सुखधाराय अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वरुणानि यो धत्वपुराणमि
है मौत तेरी,
ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे
तेरा ही खोया खोया
प्रार्थना की
आँखों में सारी रात
माता की घर में आना है तो किसी अच्छे परिवार में
तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी।
ओम देव शांति अंतरिक्षं शांति पृथ्वी शांति रोष दया शांति वनस्पतयः शांति ब्रह्म शांति शांति देव शांति तमा शांति ओम शांति शांति
मस्ती भरी हवा जो चली, मस्ती भरी हवा जो चली, खिल खिल गई ये दिल की गली, मन की गली में है खलबली कि उनको तो बुलाओ। ओ हो खोया खोया चांद खुला आसमान, आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी, तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी। ओ खोया खोया चांद। तारे चले नजारे चले, तारे चले नजारे चले, संग संग मेरे वो सारे चले, चारों तरफ इशारे चले, किसी के तो हो जाओ। ओ हो खोया खोया चाँद खुला आसमान, आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी, तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी। ओ खोया खोया चाँद, ओ ऐसी ही रात भीगी सी रात, ऐसी ही रात भीगी सी रात, हाथों में हाथ होते वो साथ, कह लेते उनसे दिल की ये बात, अब तो ना सताओ। ओ हो, खोया खोया चाँद, खुला आसमान, आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी, तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी। ओ खोया खोया चाँद। मिट चले जिनके लिए, हम मिट चले हैं जिनके लिए, बिन कुछ कहे वो चुप चुप रहे, कोई जरा ये उनसे कहे ना ऐसे आजमाओ। ओ हो, खोया खोया चाँद, खुला आसमान, आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी, तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी। ओ खोया खोया चाँद, खोया खोया चाँद, खोया खोया चाँद, खोया खोया चाँद, खोया खोया चाँद। याद न जाए बीते दिनों की, जाके न आए जो दिन, दिल क्यों बुलाए उन्हें, दिल क्यों बुलाए। याद न जाए बीते दिनों की, जाके न आए जो दिन, दिल क्यों बुलाए उन्हें, दिल क्यों बुलाए। दिन जो पखेरु होते, पिंजरे में मैं रख लेता, दिन जो पखेरु होते, पिंजरे में मैं रख लेता, पालता उनको जतन से, पालता उनको जतन से, मोती के दाने देता, सीने से रहता लगाए। याद न जाए बीते दिनों की, जाके न आए जो दिन, दिल क्यों बुलाए उन्हें, दिल क्यों बुलाए। तस्वीर उनकी छुपा के रख दूं जहाँ जी चाहे, तस्वीर उनकी छुपा के रख दूं जहाँ जी चाहे, मन में बसी ये मूरत, मन में बसी ये मूरत, लेकिन मिटी न मिटाए, कहने को है वो पराए। याद न जाए बीते दिनों की जाके ना आए जो दिन, दिल क्यों बुलाए उन्हें, दिल क्यों बुलाए, याद न जाए बीते दिनों की। रमैया वस्तावैया, रमैया वस्तावैया, रमैया वस्तावैया, रमैया वस्तावैया।
The music? Oh, the video?
चले जा चले जा जहाँ प्यार मिले जहाँ प्यार मिले चले जा चले जा जहाँ प्यार मिले जहाँ प्यार मिले चले जा जहाँ प्यार मिले जहाँ प्यार मिले इतने बड़े जहां में कोई तो मीत होगा इस गम की बांसुरी में कोई तो गीत होगा इतने बड़े जहां में कोई तो मीत होगा इस गम की बांसुरी में कोई तो गीत होगा चले जा जहाँ प्यार मिले जहाँ प्यार मिले चले जा जहाँ प्यार मिले जहाँ प्यार मिले चलना ही जिंदगी है रुकना है मौत तेरी ऐ जिंदगी के राही किस बात ओ हो खोया खोया चाँद खुला आसमान आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी ओ खोया खोया चाँद खुला आसमान आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी ओ खोया खोया चाँद मस्ती भरी हवा जो चली मस्ती भरी हवा जो चली खिल खिल गई ये दिल की कली मन की गली में है खलबली कि उनको तो बुलाओ ओ हो खोया खोया चाँद खुला आसमान आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी ओ खोया खोया चाँद तारे चले नजारे चले तारे चले नजारे चले संग संग मेरे वो सारे चले चारों तरफ इशारे चले किसी के तो हो जाओ ओ हो खोया खोया जाएगी, तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी। ओ खोया खोया चाँद, ओ
I'm just running it again.
ऐसी ही रात, भीगी सी रात, ऐसी ही रात, भीगी सी रात, हाथों में हाथ होते वो साथ, कह लेते उनसे दिल की ये बात, अब तो ना सताओ। ओ हो, खोया खोया चाँद, खुला आसमां, आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी, तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी। ओ खोया खोया चाँद। चले जिनके लिए, हम मिट चले हैं जिनके लिए, बिन कुछ कहे वो चुप चुप रहे, कोई जरा ये उनसे कहे ना ऐसे आजमाओ। ओ हो, खोया खोया चाँद, खुला आसमान, आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी, तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी। ओ खोया खोया चाँद, खोया खोया चाँद, खोया खोया चाँद, खोया खोया चाँद, खोया खोया चाँद। याद न जाए बीते दिनों की, जाके न आए जो दिन, दिल क्यों बुलाए उन्हें, दिल क्यों बुलाए। याद न जाए बीते दिनों की, जाके न आए जो दिन, दिल क्यों बुलाए उन्हें, दिल क्यों बुलाए। दिन जो पखेरु होते, पिंजरे में मैं रख लेता, दिन जो पखेरु होते, पिंजरे में मैं रख लेता, पालता उनको जतन से, पालता उनको जतन से, मोती के दाने देता, सीने से रहता लगाए। याद न जाए बीते दिनों की, जाके न आए जो दिन, दिल क्यों बुलाए उन्हें, दिल क्यों बुलाए। तस्वीर उनकी छुपा के रख दूं जहां जी का है, तस्वीर रख दूं जहां जी चाहे, मन में बसी ये मूरत, मन में बसी ये मूरत, लेकिन मिटी न मिटाए, कहने को है वो पराए, याद न जाए बीते दिनों की, जाके न आए जो दिन, दिल क्यों बुलाए उन्हें, दिल क्यों बुलाए, याद न जाए बीते दिनों की। रमैया वस्तावैया, रमैया वस्तावैया, रमैया वस्तावैया, रमैया वस्तावैया।
People just asking, can you just replay the slideshow with the
Sure.
songs?
I just want to thank everybody for coming. And from
चले जा जहाँ प्यार मिले जहाँ प्यार मिले चले जा जहाँ प्यार मिले जहाँ प्यार मिले चले जा जहाँ प्यार मिले जहाँ प्यार मिले इतने बड़े जहां में कोई तो मीत होगा इस गम की बांसुरी में कोई तो गीत होगा इतने बड़े जहां में कोई तो मीत होगा इस गम की बांसुरी में कोई तो गीत होगा चले जा जहाँ प्यार मिले जहाँ प्यार मिले चले जा जहाँ प्यार मिले प्यार मिले। चलना ही जिंदगी है, रुकना है मौत तेरी, है जिंदगी के राही किस बात। ओ हो, खोया खोया चाँद, खुला आसमान, आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी, तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी। ओ खोया खोया चाँद, खुला आसमान, आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी, तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी। ओ खोया खोया चाँद। मस्ती भरी हवा जो चली, मस्ती भरी हवा जो चली, खिल खिल गई ये दिल की कली, मन की गली में है खलबली कि उनको तो बुलाओ। ओ हो, खोया खोया चाँद, खुला आसमान, आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी, तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी। ओ खोया खोया चाँद। तारे चले नजारे चले, तारे चले नजारे चले, संग संग मेरे वो सारे चले, चारों तरफ इशारे चले, किसी के तो हो जाओ। ओ हो, खोया खोया चाँद, खुला आसमान, आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी, तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी। ओ खोया खोया चाँद। ओ ऐसी ही रात, भीगी सी रात, ऐसी ही रात, भीगी सी रात, हाथों में हाथ होते वो साथ, कह लेते उनसे दिल की ये बात, अब तो ना सताओ। ओ हो, खोया खोया चाँद, खुला आसमान, आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी, तुमको भी कैसे नींद आएगी। ओ खोया खोया चाँद। मिट चले जिनके लिए, हम मिट चले हैं जिनके लिए, बिन कुछ कहे वो चुप चुप रहे, कोई जरा ये उनसे कहे ना ऐसे आजमाओ। ओ हो, खोया खोया चाँद, खुला आसमान, आँखों में सारी रात जाएगी, तुमको भी कैसे नींद याद न जाए बीते दिनों की, जाके न आए जो दिन, दिल क्यों बुलाए उन्हें, दिल क्यों बुलाए। याद न जाए बीते दिनों की, जाके न आए जो दिन, दिल क्यों बुलाए उन्हें, दिल क्यों बुलाए। दिन जो पखेरु होते, पिंजरे में मैं रख लेता। दिन जो पखेरु होते, पिंजरे में मैं रख लेता। पालता उनको जतन से, पालता उनको जतन से, मोती के दाने देता, सीने से रहता लगाए। याद न जाए बीते दिनों की, जाके न आए जो दिन, दिल क्यों बुलाए उन्हें, दिल क्यों बुलाए। तस्वीर उनकी छुपा के रख दूं जहां जी चाहे, तस्वीर उनकी छुपा के रख दूं जहां जी चाहे। मन में बसी ये मूरत, मन में बसी ये मूरत, लेकिन मिट्टी न मिटाए। कहने को है वो पराए। याद न जाए बीते दिनों की, जाके न आए जो दिन, दिल क्यों रमैया वस्तावैया, रमैया वस्तावैया, रमैया वस्तावैया, रमैया वस्तावैया।
Cheese. What color is this?